All right, Tina, welcome to Tea with G. New podcast. We're going to drink some tea first, and then we'll introduce you and we'll talk about your journey and get to know you a little bit. And I mean, I know you already. This is a good friend of mine here. Tina, last name?
Basilaia.
Basilaia from Georgia, the country Georgia, not the state.
Yeah.
So we're gonna drink some rose tea today, rose petal tea. And the reason why I chose rose petal tea today for Tina is because she's very traditional, she's very strong, she inspires many people. And yeah, so I think rose is something very popular as well. Like it makes everybody smile, right? Like just looking at the rose flower and drinking it also has a lot of positive benefits on positive thinking and things like that.
And such an interesting coincidence that I have flowers here
Oh,
today.
there we go. That's true.
I think they
Yeah.
are not roses, but still in this topic, let's say, very close to.
So that's actually a good point here because
Yeah.
I said you're very traditional in the sense that you love your country and you wear some traditional clothing and you are excited to show your culture.
Absolutely.
So this is good proof of what I'm saying right now. So
Thank you, Gabriel, for inviting me. I'm
welcome.
excited for today's interview, and I'm so happy to talk with you, share with you, and with your listeners my journey and inspire more people, especially those who want to find the power inside themselves, who want to believe in themselves, and who want to not just succeed in their life, but really live meaningful, impactful life where they will be connected to their true self and to their heart.
I love that. I love that. That's
So,
amazing.
I
So
give you my cup.
to start off with that positive note, we're gonna have some rose petal tea. This is a big thing here. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This is not the ideal way to pour tea, ladies and gentlemen. It's very heavy,
It has great scent.
but next time I'll get a better thing to pour. For now, we're gonna enjoy this rose tea.
It has great scent and also great taste.
Usually you smell roses, right? But
Yeah.
when you drink it, it's like, it's interesting for sure. It's very calming.
Yeah.
What do you think about rose tea? Do you like it? And
Yes, I love it, and it was for me a nice surprise when I have heard that we would drink during our podcast rose tea, and also drinking tea and talking, having a conversation is such a great, I would say, as a ritual, meeting with friends and drinking tea and having deep conversations. It's something very inviting, and you want to share something from the bottom of your heart, and it always goes very well with
Yeah.
the tea.
yeah, absolutely. You
Yeah.
said it very right.
Even in Georgia, I would say with my friends, if we want to have some deep conversations, we can say that let's meet up and drink a tea together, and it means that let's have a nice conversation, deep conversation. So it's also like in my home country, connected to drinking tea to meaningful conversations.
It's very much a tea culture, is it? In Georgia?
Yeah, I would say that quite we have this tradition.
Is it tied to, you think, like the Eastern
I think,
mentality?
I think something that came from eastern part.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. All right. Well, you want to introduce yourself? Do you want to talk to us a little bit about your early life, how you were raised, maybe living in Georgia, growing up in Georgia, and also what inspired you to do the work you're doing right now?
Well, I was born and raised in Georgia, in a beautiful country. When some people ask me, where are you from? I love to answer, I'm from beautiful country, Georgia. That is a tiny country, I would say, in between Europe and Asia. And it has a very rich culture and traditions and very beautiful nature and people who are open-hearted and very has a great hospital culture. We are also a homeland of wine that we are very
Oh
proud of
yeah,
it.
I've tried the Georgian wines. Very good.
Yes, and I was born in a very loving family. In that way, I feel I was quite lucky that I felt what does it mean to have loving relationships and respectful relationship between family members. And like I had great relationship with my grandmas, grandpas, and my grandparents really were great role models for me. And I remember when I was in Georgia and I brought there the work of Byron Katie, a very powerful method that we will talk also during our conversation about that. I dedicated this presentation. It was about a book that I translated in Georgia, and I dedicated it to my two grandfathers who passed
Oh, that's
away.
beautiful.
They gave me a very good example of sharing love and like living this legacy of love and sharing what we can just give while we live in the world. And here comes a very nice quote of Dr. Wayne Dyer. It says that we come here with nothing, we leave with nothing. All we have, what we give while we are here. And
Wow, that's
yeah,
deep.
my grandpa, whose name was Zauri, his life was really about sharing and giving. And when he passed away, lots of people were coming and telling the stories that we had no idea absolutely how he helped other people, and we did not know about it. He was just doing it because he could not do differently. And it was very powerful thing that we all live for some period of time in life, but if we impact on other people's life, we can really leave this legacy in other people's hearts. And I think it's very powerful. So I was raised in this environment where we cared about our country. We wanted to create other people's life, to impact other people's life in a better way. I was looking that my parents or my family members, everyone loved them. I could not see or meet someone who would say something bad about my family. It's not just because they were trying to please people. No, they were just very and are very genuine, wonderful people. And with those vibes, I was raised up, and this is what I wanted to move farther in the world, because world really needs this example of unconditional love, really like genuine help, genuine relationships. And if, like, for example, I feel quite lucky that I felt it in my family, so I can show other people that it's possible. You can also live this way. It's okay if you was not like born or raised in family like that. It's like there are no perfect families. Even my family, even though it was quite loving, it's also not perfect.
Yeah, nothing's
right?
perfect, right?
Yeah, absolutely. As my trainer in psychotherapy says, that no matter how perfect parent you can be, your kid will find a topic to work about their parents. So
Yeah, yeah.
there are no perfect relationship, perfect families. There are conflicts or like difficulties in every family. But if there is like values, love, caring to each other, they are very strong values. And I just wanted to share it to the world and just give this feeling to other people so that they can also believe. Because like when people are raised, and if they are in like in the environment where there are lots of conflicts, they might get traumatized and they don't have this experience. What does it mean to feel safe? And when you show the people that you are safe with me, and there are different relationships, that it exists and you can also have it, I think it can be very impactful. And this is what I want to share with other people, because I have it a lot. And when you have something, you want to give to other people, right? So
For sure,
I
yeah.
want to share it, and I want other people to know that the better world also exists, and we can create. Because when we are born, before some toxic programs are created in us because of our environment. And what I mean when I say this, like when we are little kid, especially like before 5-7 years old, we
It's
just
a critical age, right?
it's critical age, and we look to the world around us with a wide open eyes, and we just absorb everything. We make conclusions. What does it mean to be a like woman or man, or to be a friend, or if is the world loving or a safe place, or can I trust the world or other people or family members or friends? Am I safe? Do I deserve best, or how they treat me, family members or friends or other people? Am I enough, or if should I be successful in order to be loved? So lots of conclusions we make, and then we live our life according to those programs, and all of them are in an unconditional level. And once we make them, once we realize what rules our life, what we believe in, we can change it. So what I want to say that before we make those conclusions, we are like free. We don't have those limiting thoughts, and our mind is not limited. So this is created, so we can always undone them, and find what is true for us. So I really believe that there is a space in all of us where are those unlimited possibilities. And when we are in touch with that, with our energy, genuine energy, and with our heart, there are really limitless possibilities.
Well, you're very generous. You're a very generous person.
Thank you.
Because even if people have a lot of something, whether they have money or love to give or anything, knowledge, some people don't want to even share that. So it's amazing that you
sharing, and you asked what inspired me to my life mission, right? I really love sharing. It's one of my I would say precious value that I stand on this ground, I would say, on these values. I love sharing. If I hear something that helps me, I always want to say and share with other people that the solution exists, or we can live in a different way. And when I for the first time attended a personal development seminar, it was 2013, and I was really it was a dark part, let's say, of my life. I was really did not know what to do, how to live, what was my goals. I knew that I'm a quite goal-oriented person, and I can be hardworking, and I knew that with my hard work and focus I could achieve my goals, but I did not know what I wanted. And just I have not heard before about coaching. And when I went to this personal development seminar, it was for me like breakthrough. I understood how it's important to know what we really want, and then to have this clear idea how to achieve our goals, why we want what we want. Do we really want what we think we want? Because like society tells us what we should want, and consumerism is really
That's true. Yeah, like
very
the big brands,
common.
right? With the
Yeah.
marketing, they get into your brain
Yeah,
and
and
they,
it's so
yeah.
easy to get lost on those, let's say, desires that come to us as stickers, and
Yeah.
we live up, and we might want something that it's not our true desire, right? So I understood how important it is to really hear our inner voice, our heart, and then create life around that. And then I decided to learn about coaching, and it really changed my life. It was in 2015, and I remember I said that my life was before coaching and after coaching, because it was such a powerful tool to really understand what you want, why you want it, how you can achieve it. And when you have this crystal clarity, you have just what is left is just to do those steps that is already known and understandable for you. So it's something that really can fuel our energy, and we can really find inspiration and motivation with that. And I started to share it in Georgia. It was quite new tool in the world. It was not new, but in Georgia it was like I myself and my colleagues were pioneers in coaching.
Oh, wow.
Yes, people were confusing it with psychotherapy and psychology, and we were teaching them what was coaching about. And then also when I went to another seminar that really transformed my life, there I understood that with my thoughts I create my life. It was really another breakthrough.
Wow.
That what was happening in my life, everything was created by myself, consciously or unconsciously. And it was really very powerful. We were working on a situation like what we don't like about our life, or what we want to do, but we don't have the power or energy, or something blocks us, something does not allow us to act. We all can find the situations where we want to have different results, but we kind of can't do differently, right? Or we procrastinate, or we don't believe, or we have some trauma. And there I understood that we all have those subconscious programs. And like, let's say, if we believe that I'm not good enough, right?
Oh, that's
we will. It's one of the common
so destructive.
belief.
Yeah.
Almost everyone can find it in themselves that I'm not enough, or I don't deserve, or I will deserve when I will have this, or when I will have more money, or better career, or better relationship, then I will deserve to have this outcome. So we really limit ourselves. And like, let's say, if we have this limiting belief and program that I'm not enough, we will block everything in our life. We will block more money or better career opportunities, because deep down in our heart we believe that we are not enough. So we have to live it. Right? So we will attract situations that will just reflect our thoughts and our beliefs. And when I found out that what happens in reality, we are responsible on those results, and it's not another people's fault. It is just what we believe, and then we create. I called it inner power. So we can change it internally, and then it reflects on our life, and people follow us. Everyone with whom we have relationship, they are our mirrors, our partners, parents, kids, friends, work colleagues, boss. All of them are just reflecting what we believe about ourselves, about our life, about the relationships, about everything in the world. And then they just return us our beliefs, the way they treat us. And if we don't blame others, and if we ask ourselves, okay, how I'm creating it in my life, what I believe that I attract this kind of relationship, we can always find an answer, and then we can change it. and it's really great power. So we don't need to manipulate, let's say, other people, and we can change other people no matter how we try. We can like manipulate, but it's also like it's not in our zone of control, and it's very tiring and disappointing. But if we really change our mindset, our beliefs, the way we see ourselves in the mirror, it can really transform our life.
That
oh
is
my God,
so...
I talked a lot.
No, that is so
drink a tea.
so valuable. Like the knowledge that you just gave, you know, everything you said is so... It's so true, first of all, and it's so deep. And if people actually open their mind and take that information in, I think just that, what you just said, can already help them start to change their life for the better, right? If they're stuck in a certain place in life, or they don't understand themselves or whatever, just that knowledge can help them, you know, and then obviously they can do more to take.
Yeah, it's if they feel stuck, or people like who, if I would say like if you are listening to us, I would ask it to people who are listening right now to us. If you are stuck in your life, you can just look at your life and ask yourself, how am I creating it? And if we really take responsibility on it, we can change. Otherwise, we are giving away our power, and somebody should change, or something should change in our life so that we can have positive results. But it is not in our zone of control, and we can't depend on it, right? But if we really take responsibility on the results that we are creating, and if we will be honest with ourselves, and it's not easy, it's very hard, we lie to ourselves so much.
You know, when somebody tells you something about yourself,
and we
like,
don't want to hear it about ourselves, absolutely. But and also there is another moment, like we can also ask ourselves, how do I benefit from this negative situation? Sometimes some situations can be painful, but we have some secret benefit, let's say. For example, we are punishing ourselves. It's also a very common thing. If we feel guilty toward our parents or our kids or partner, or we did something wrong, or we believe we did something wrong. My teacher Byron Katie says that we're all innocent, and I love it, because we are blaming ourselves, but actually it's not our fault. It's only our responsibility, and it's very important to change the word blame and fault to responsibility. Because when we feel guilty, we always punish ourselves with negative situations, with health problems. Sometimes we can have benefit with our health problems. For example, now I have a client and she has health problems, and she's working on that. She's treating herself, but she understood that this was the only reason she could leave her toxic relationship. So she created this health problem so that it could be a powerful excuse not to stay in the toxic relationship.
That's interesting. Yeah. So subconsciously, you're saying like we could create a situation that's negative to get out of something. So I mean it's amazing. Because when you were speaking, I was kind of going into my own life as well. You know, like, because this is something that can relate to everyone. Right? We all go through things in life. We all maybe have some of these negative feelings from time to time. And I'm sure most of us can understand that we are very powerful, but maybe we just don't know how to access that power. But we are actually the ultimate power. We have ultimate control. I believe.
And also very often we don't know it because nobody told us. Nobody told us. Like at school, in Georgia, and I'm sure maybe in Canada as well, kids don't teach, they are not taught how to work on them, their thoughts, how to live their life. Maybe we can learn some math and different subjects, but there is no subject about life. I remember once I was invited at school in Georgia, and I shared to teenagers how we create our life, and that we, with our thoughts, can really create the outcomes that we have in our life, and that we have subconscious mind where we have some programs, and then we create lots of situations like all in our life. We can all relate that some situations repeat, and we just don't understand why it repeats, right? It repeats because we have a program and we believe that it's true for us, so it repeats no matter how painful it is and how much we suffer. So
Wow.
I shared it with kids, and they were just looking at me surprised with this wide open eyes, and why nobody told us, because maybe their parents also did not know about that. So
Yeah.
I think that it's so important that we share it to people, to as many people as possible, them to know that we all create our life with our thoughts, and other people, no matter how bad they treated us, they don't have 100% responsibility on our life. Sometimes we attract those people. There is one very interesting author, Colin Tipping. He created a method, radical forgiveness. And he shares a very interesting idea that before we come to this world, the souls meets and they have some, let's say, some agreement that when we go to this world, I will hurt you, or you will hurt me, and then we will heal through this situation, and it's like a healing dance. If we just look at the situation, it might be painful or suffering, but if we look at in a different angle from a meta position, we can see that sometimes people come in our life to give some lessons, and through those lessons we can love ourselves in an unconditional way, or forgive other people, and really grow in a different level of consciousness, and we can really go through some beliefs about ourselves or the world. So if we look at people also like as a mirror and as a teacher, we can really enlighten in many situations. It's not easy, but it
Yeah, a lot of work, right?
a lot of work. Yeah, but
This is
it's
the
easier.
hardest kind of work, for
Yeah,
sure.
but it's I can't say easy because it's not easy work, but it is a bit easier when it's done with a professional who can guide us, and
Absolutely,
it can
yeah.
really be eye-opening experience.
Yeah, a mentor or a coach can take you, of course, like
Yeah.
it can take you so many levels up faster.
Yes.
If you're in sports, if you have a sports coach
Yeah.
focusing on you who has
Absolutely.
20 years experience, they can show you all the things that they made mistakes on,
Yeah.
and they elevate you, right?
Absolutely.
I love that. I love that. Well, I have some questions for you
Okay.
that probably people are going to benefit from, or that people would most typically ask. So first question is, your life's purpose is to guide and inspire people to unlock their inner peace. Can you share a pivotal moment in your journey that led you to this mission?
Yeah, so I mentioned a couple of moments when I
Some
went
of
to
the
some
workshops and stuff.
workshops and seminars where I got a different point of view about life that before I did not have it. And it's interesting, once you have seen, you can't unseen it, right?
That's
so
right, yeah.
when something becomes clear, it's so clear that it really shifts our life. So those two situations where when I have heard how important it is to set our goals and to hear our voice and to really know what we really want, and also about our subconscious programs, times. And another very significant moment was when I met Byron Katie, my teacher, and it was so powerful. First, when I discovered her method, I was in a different seminar. It was not Byron Katie's seminar, but her student seminar. And we did an exercise where we had a group activity, and we should have choose a person who irritated us or disappointed us, or we did not like that person, let's say. And I found one person in my group, his name was Sasha, who really irritated me because he was trying to be a leader and everyone to listen to him. And I just did not like this person, so I wrote down. It's Byron Katie's the work. This method has a great worksheet. Its name is Judge Your Neighbor Worksheet. So there you judge, really judge well the person that you dislike, or who disappointed you, or who harmed you. So I wrote all my thoughts about Sasha that I had, that he did not listen to me, or he did not respect me, or he was arrogant, like lots of thoughts. And then our trainer said that, okay, now you can question those thoughts. And choose a partner, and it could be great if you would choose a partner on whom you wrote those thoughts. So it was an invitation me to choose Sasha and work with him the thoughts that I wrote about him. So I decided to do it, and I said, like, sorry, like that I wrote all those thoughts about you, but I really want to question and understand why you irritate me that much. And we started to question those thoughts.
And you had to confront and talk to that person.
Yes, it was a very tough experience.
Wow, that is,
and like I was reading each thought, and I was like excusing, like, sorry, Sasha, that I wrote about this about you. And we started to question. And question means that we ask ourselves that it is true what we really believe. And how do we live our life? What happens in us? How do we react when we believe in this thought? And another great question during questioning is, who would we be without this thought? So in the same situation,
wow, that's interesting.
This thought, who would we be? So I started to question, and very soon I discovered that all those thoughts about Sasha was my projection. So my fantasies about Sasha, the way I perceived him, and not the real Sasha. So there's a real Sasha, and there are my thoughts, my story about him. So once I have my thoughts, my fantasies about him, I don't communicate with real Sasha. I communicate with the image I created about Sasha.
Interesting.
And Byron Katie says that no two person has met each other ever. So all the time when we communicate with other people, we are communicated with the images and the thoughts that we have about this person.
Is it kind of like judging a book by its cover?
Yeah, yes, I would say yes. And it can even happen in family. We might discover that we don't know our parents, we don't know our kids, because we're looking them through the filter that we have about them, the story.
Oh, wow. So even if you kind of like know somebody for a long time, you could still act that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I discovered that those thoughts about Sasha was not real. It was my projection, and more, it was about me. Then we turned those thoughts around, and I understood that not Sasha, but I was not listening, not to myself and not him. I wanted to be that leader, that I wanted everybody to follow my strategy during this exercise, and not Sasha. I was in that moment arrogant and not him. So everything that I thought about him was about me.
So you really learned a lot about yourself in that session.
Yeah. And then I understood that if I had those thoughts about Sasha, how many Sashas have been in my life that I had resentment, or I was disappointed, or I did not like, or even hate, right? Or I had conflict. So it was huge discovery for me, and then I decided to go to Byron Katie's school and learn this method deeply. and then to share it in Georgia, in my home country. I really wanted people to have more peaceful life, more happy life. When I was translating Byron Katie's books, I translated 2 of her bestsellers and published in Georgia. I was really closing my eyes and imagining that people who would buy this book and read how their life would change, how their family life would change. Because if even one person in family changed, it can really affect 2 other persons. And it can be a huge change for everyone, and they can be a role model, inspirational for others around them, right? So it was a very powerful mission for me when I was living in Georgia to help other people to make this shift. Yeah, and it's a great tool in relationships when partners write about each other, those Judge Your Neighbor worksheet, and then they read to each other, and then they help each other to facilitate and question, and they can understand that the conflicts that happen, it's because they have these unquestioned thoughts about each other and the stories that are not true.
Wow, that's life-changing right here, eh? My goodness. Yeah. I'll go with another question here.
I would even add one example from my client's case that was very transformational. I was working with this method in Georgia a lot, and I had a client in my online program, and she had a daughter, teenager daughter with disabled abilities. Yeah, did I say it correctly in English? So she could not walk. And mother, as a caregiver, she was feeling sometimes depressed because she really wanted to help her kid to navigate to her challenges about age, with the relationship at school, some stereotypes and lots of things. And when she questioned her thoughts about her daughter, so she's disabled, she can't walk, or she's not somehow let's say normal, let's say, so she started to question her own thoughts about her daughter. And when she shared with me that she saw her daughter completely different way when she put aside her thoughts about her daughter. So is that true that she's disabled? Who would I be in this relationship with her without this story that she's disabled? And it really shifted their relationship. They had more connection with each other, and even she started to help her daughter with this questionnaire and to question her own painful thoughts about her life, and it was a huge shift in their life. And I love this example. It's so inspiring. I remember I had goosebumps and I had tears in my eyes. I was so touched how powerful it was in their life to see her daughter in a new way, in a completely new way, to notice her different abilities and different part of her unique being without this filter that she had before about her own daughter.
That's fascinating. Yeah, I mean, even people who, like you said, mother and daughter, you can change their relationship, which can change their life. And that's the reason why you do this work, right? So when you actually fix someone's relationship like that, you're making the world a better place. You're helping
so
people.
Rewarding. That moment, I feel that, it was worth it.
For sure. Like all the work, all the knowledge that you have, it's doing something positive in the world. And I just want to touch on something you said earlier. You said that the energy that we give, right, after we pass away, people will always remember that. So I really resonate with that. I really think that's true. And I think about that a lot. So in my own life even, I'm like, what can I do that can positively impact the world? And then what energy can I put into the world that even after I die, people will benefit from, or the world will benefit from it? And I think like it's a very healthy way to think, you know?
Absolutely. I would here add a fresh example. A couple days ago, I started some yoga practices that I found on YouTube first, and then I decided to purchase a program and to do some yoga. And it was like 90-day program.
Nice.
And on the comments, I saw that one person was writing about this instructor that I will miss you forever. And I was like, what does it mean? And then I went to her channel and I saw that she has not added new videos during last couple years. And then I found out that she has passed away a couple years ago. But today, even after that, after like 3 years, I was watching her videos and I was doing the practice that was helping me, helping my body, my mind. And it was like very, very powerful moment that she passed away, but her work continues to exist and help other people.
Absolutely.
And it was very powerful.
Wow.
And I would say we have all something to give to the world.
For sure, yeah.
We all
Totally
have
agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I love these conversations because it's
I enjoy it too.
we're like growing, we're being positive, and we're also giving positive value, energy, knowledge, right? And then people can get inspired from that too. So, all right. Another question here. So you've introduced the work of Byron Katie in Georgia. How has this method impacted your approach to coaching and the lives of your clients?
Well, it really shifted the way I worked with people. When we were practicing and studying this method, sometimes we were writing Judge Your Neighbor worksheet about our clients as well. For example, I want my client to recognize me or accept me or to like me as a professional. Like people seek approval, appreciation from other people, and therapists also and coaches also in a very deep level, they want to be recognized by their clients, right? At least to have grateful clients. And when I question those thoughts, like who would I be during my work with other people without this thought that I need them to like me as a professional or as a coach or as a psychotherapist. And without this thought, I came to find in me a different level of presence. When I'm completely with this person and I'm here to serve. I put aside my ego and I'm completely with this person, how I can serve you, how I can help you. So it gave me a completely different level and depth in working with other people. And also when I was working and using this method, and I still use, and with other different methods like Gestalt therapy and coaching, it just helps me to be really present and to have this powerful presence where I'm just an instrument that moment, and I'm completely connected with that person. And sometimes when I'm in a connection, let's say, some questions come to me. I don't know why those questions come to me, and I just channel it, let's say, and it is the best question that this person could hear because it really helps to see something in a different way.
Wow.
I remember there was one moment I was very connected to a person, and I said that, but why do you think this way, or something I said, I remember, and that person did not say it out loud, said, how did you know that I was thinking now about this way? So it really creates a great connection when you, with your body in this field, you can really be with this person and feel the field in a different way that you can support this person's growth. So I would say a different level of presence it gave me, and how it helped people. It really transformed many, I would say thousands of people's lives.
I could imagine, yeah, for sure.
I love one example that I also remember, just popped it up. It was one of my program's participants. She had a marriage, But like last 2 years, her marriage with her husband was really very toxic, and they were living in the same apartment, but they were not communicating with each other. They had kids like 20 or 25 years old boys, but still their relationship was like frozen in one level, and they were not communicating almost at all. And I helped her to write down her thoughts about her husband, and she questioned them. It was very hard work because she was resisting, and I understand her very well, because when we have the thoughts, especially about our closed relationship, like closed family members, about parents, especially siblings or a partner, we want to be right. We want them to be wrong, and we want to be right. And this is, I would say, the most difficult part, just us to allow ourselves not to be right, but to be free. So she questioned her thoughts, wrote down, and she understood that her husband was not that wrong that she used to perceive him. So she found her part in this conflict, how they created, what was her part, her responsibility, let's say. And how she also hurted her husband. And I encouraged her to write down 3 things that she was grateful for her husband, and 3 things that she would love to ask for forgiveness. And she wrote down on the paper. She wrote down it very easily, I would say. But then when I said that, can you go to your husband and read it out loud? And she said, oh my God, should I read him and say this directly? I was thinking I should have just written it down. I said it's just another level, another step. If you can do it, it can be really very powerful thing. And she went to her husband. She said what she was grateful for, and what was that she was wrong, and she would like to ask for forgiveness. And her husband was shocked. First reaction was shocked. And she said that she was shocked. And then the husband grabbed this paper and started kissing this paper, because it was very powerful for him too, to hear that kind of vulnerable part, and something that she did a huge step toward this relationship. And then they fixed their relationship. He also shared why he was, what way he was wrong, and how he wanted also to ask for forgiveness, and they healed their relationship.
Oh, that's amazing.
It was, also very powerful. Once, when people were sharing those examples of our work, some people were just reading the books and they were sharing how their life changed. It was very inspirational for me to continue and move it farther and share it with more people, work with more people.
For sure, yeah. If you see something is working, right?
Yes,
then you're like, oh, it's working. I want to help.
Yeah, it's like every time I see that something works and something is helpful, I really want to say to people, it exists. Use it, and
Okay, yes, that was amazing. That was very interesting, and I got some more questions for you.
Okay.
So many individuals struggle with limiting beliefs, right? What strategies do you recommend to help them overcome these barriers and realize their full potential?
Well, I would say that partly we covered it, but I would say here that one of the most powerful tool can be the work of Byron Katie, to question really those limiting beliefs, even to stand in front of the mirror and this one of the common belief, I'm not enough, for example, right? Just to stand in front of the mirror and ask this question, is that true that I'm not enough? And really look us into our eyes and just wait for the answer. It might be, yes, I'm not enough, because the world told me that I'm not enough. And then ask again, can I really know that it's true, that I'm not enough? And really connect to ourselves. It might be yes or no. Then ask again, how do I react when I believe this thought that I'm not enough, or I'm not successful enough, or beautiful enough, or I should be more successful, or or I should be more happy, more rich, etc. And just notice how we live with this thought. I would compare it to a, let's say, jacket. When we believe a thought, let's say I'm not enough, it's like putting on this jacket of I'm not enough, and we have to live according to it. We don't have any other choice. We just live it. And we see everything through this filter that I'm not enough. If somebody ignores us or somebody hurts us, it's just because I'm not enough. But maybe just because somebody was busy or was upset or had a bad day, or there can be lots of things that it's not personal, right? But we very often perceive lots of things personal because we believe about ourselves in this way. So just really ask ourselves, how do we react when we believe this thought, this limiting thought? And answer all the answers that come, how we feel in our body, how we live our life, how we connect with other people when we believe in this thought. And then ask another question, fourth question, who would we be without this thought? Like in the same reality. Yeah, it's so powerful. We can just meditate on this question. So in the same reality where nothing changed, my life is the same, my story about my life is the same, right? Who would I be? And just really connect with ourselves in front of the mirror. Just try to see the story that we have about ourselves. Like without this story, who would we see in the mirror? And it can really be transformative. We can see ourselves in a completely different way.
You can totally recreate your life story this way, even, right?
So it is one of the most powerful tools, I would say. At least it really changed my life and life of millions of people all around the world, not only in Georgia. There are lots of schools and groups in in Europe, in Asia, in US, like a bunch of groups that practice this method. And
amazing.
Yeah, so it can be one of the options. Another direction can be a therapy, psychotherapy, where we can work with the therapists about our traumas, because just limiting beliefs, they just don't come itself. It's sometimes
they come from somewhere, right?
Yeah, somewhere. Sometimes it is an echo of our trauma that is not proceed. So we need to really process those sensations that are in our body that are connected to this trauma, because those trauma, they affect this way that they create some beliefs about ourselves or life or about other people. And then those beliefs limit us, and we create situations where it is repeated. And those situations, traumatic situations, are repeating because, if we looked at this way, because we need to heal it. It's like it just says that you need to heal it. So it was created again, and this is your chance to really heal this time. So if we heal it, then those limiting beliefs, they just go themselves.
Oh, wow.
So if we heal something that is core, those beliefs are just echoes, we heal what's the core, and then it just go away. Also can be some affirmations, a good practice, but just only affirmations, I would say it might not work.
It's kind of like putting a Band-Aid on, no?
Sorry?
It's kind of like putting on a Band-Aid without...
Can it be?
Without healing the root cause, would you say something like that? Because you're talking about, just before this, the root cause is the trauma, right? So if you get to the root cause, which is the trauma or psychological thing that's bothering you, whatever, if you can heal that at the root, then things kind of automatically change for you.
Yes, and it changed really in a radical way. We can't even expect how it might change. Yeah, and affirmations also work, but it's so important what kind of, like, what we really believe. If we say all the time that I'm enough, but I have a really big traumatic event that happened to me, it might not help, because there is a wound in us that needs to be really healed.
That makes
and
sense.
It will block us until we heal it. So I would recommend more a deep work with psychotherapist, psychologist, a counselor that can really heal those wounds, and then we can hear our truth about life or other people or about ourselves. Like, if before we were believing that we can't trust people because somebody betrayed us or betrayed in our family, our parents, and we saw the situation and believed that people are not trusted, and the world is not safe place. Yes, of course, we will be more distant, and we will have lots of protective mechanisms with them. We can't really connect with people, and we'll attract situations and people who will show us what we believe is true. But if we heal those situations, if we forgive and process those sensations, we can attract completely different kind of people who will then reflect our new reality, our new thoughts about our truth, I would say, about life.
I love that. Wow.
Yeah.
Every time I ask you a question, every time you say something, it's so deep and so like amazing. So thank you for even, having all the knowledge you do. You put a lot of work into it, many, many years, right?
Yeah.
And now you're able to offer good knowledge and
Thank
change
you.
people's lives.
Thank you.
We need a lot more people like that in the earth, especially now. It feels like the world needs a lot more positivity, right?
Yes, it really needs different approach.
So we'll go with another question here. Balancing personal growth and professional responsibilities can be challenging. How do you maintain this equilibrium in your life?
Oh, it's it's tough.
That's
It's
a tough
not
question,
easy.
right? Yeah.
It's not easy. I remember once I wrote even an interview in Georgian,
For you a little more.
in the magazine Entrepreneurs. We have our
Yeah, sorry.
our Georgian edition of the magazine Entrepreneurs, and I wrote their article about balancing personal life and career. Well, it's very difficult, I would say. And before, I would even say, I was believing, before I would work on myself, that you are or successful or happy in your personal life, but those two can't be combined. And I was believing in that really, because in my environment, I could not see people, especially women, who were successful, really successful, and also very happy in their marriages. So they were all very happy in marriage, but all the time they were just focused on their kids, on their husband, and they were not employed or realized professionally, let's say. They were happy, but they were not realized, and something was missing in their life. Or I would see very successful, high achiever women who could not create really quality relationship with partner, with husband. And I was thinking that I want to have both. What can I do? And I really started to work on my thoughts, what I was believing, what kind of stereotypes also I was believing in, and really process those thoughts and limiting beliefs and programs from my subconscious mind to create a different truth for me that both is possible. And I remember a great example that was a proof of my new belief was in 2020, January 30, when I had a second presentation of the book that I translated, Byron Katie's book. There was it was a huge audience, like more than 700 person.
Wow, that was in Georgia?
It was in Georgia. I was so happy. I was standing on the stage, and I was feeling that I was really in my place. It was one of the successful days, let's say, in my career, because what I was dreaming about to translate another book and share it with people, and the audience was like, it was a full house. And people were here, and soon Byron Katie would join us from California through
Wow.
Zoom with live stream. And I was very happy, but I was quite sad that that time my boyfriend, then it became my husband, Artem, was not with me because he could not come. And then something happened. I went to washroom because before I would start the presentation, and I saw him with the beautiful flowers, and he was here. So
Oh
he
my
did
goodness,
surprise, and he arrived from Ukraine
Amazing.
just for this special day. He said that he could not come, and I really believe that he could not come, but he came this day. And this day is one of the wonderful example for me that both can be compatible. You can be happy in relationship, and you can be successful in career. And what can help us to do it and to navigate, what stops us, like what kind of beliefs or programs we have about our parents or the relationships we saw around us, or about success, just to question it, just to let them go and stick to our own truth, what we want and what we really believe that is possible, and also to know what is our mission. And we all have our mission, no matter how big or small it is. We all can serve the world, and when we know our why, then everything can be balanced. When we have this big why, then we can really prioritize our life, and our partners also can become our best cheerleaders, and they can also help us to balance our work with our relationship. Yeah, so it's possible. So how I do, I question what I believe, and also I try to stick on my why, what it really matters, not on the ego level, but really in a different level about serving the world. When we have this focus, then our relationship can also help us to grow more, and our partner can become our supporter and cheerleader in it. Yeah.
And I personally met her husband, Artem.
Yeah.
He's a very, very, very good soul. So when you say that he came with the flowers,
Yeah.
I could just imagine him there. Yeah,
So
he's a great
many
guy.
times he was helping me to record some videos or carrying the books that I need to. I had, like, before coming to Canada, I had a workshop in Georgia, and people wanted to order some books that I translated that I have not, like, I took some off, just an example to show that the book exists, but I was not thinking about to bring some books. I did not know, like, people wanted to buy there because they are in a store. But people wanted to buy that day the book, so I just had a call with my husband. Can you bring some books? And he came with a box of books, and people could purchase them. And like he's very supportive. And I would even say, like, maybe some people listen to us who don't have supportive partners, and I can say that it can be changed. I had a client, and her story is like it's one of the successful stories, I would say, from my practice. When she came to me, she had very toxic relationship. Her husband was manipulating her, influencing, like as if he was owning her, let's say, and he would not allow her to go somewhere or to even work on herself, her personal development. She was
a bit possessive, eh?
Yeah, possessive. And he was really stopping her development because he was afraid to lose her. What if she could grow more than him, or what if she wanted something more that he could offer her? So he hated me.
Oh no.
Because my client wanted really to learn with me and me to help her. So I think her husband really hated me. But then he understood what our work was about. So she started work with me, and we worked. about her father. So like her partner was very toxic in relationship, and it did not happen by chance that she created that relationship in her life. It was because her father was also toxic, and she had lots of resentment about her father. So we really worked a lot about the relationship between her mother and father, and how her father treated her. Her father was also does not allowing her to go to some places, her to be free. So it was like I would say the same model, relationship model between her parents and also between her and her father. So she really worked on her father and about her husband as well. And then what happened? Her husband started supporting her. When she wanted to go at seminars and workshops, they had 3 kids. So before, the excuse was that, oh, you are focusing on yourself. You should be with kids, and you should care about our kids, and we should have like dinner ready, etc. So
trying to stop her,
yeah,
right, as much as he
and
could. Yeah.
he started to stay with kids so that she could go to the seminars.
Oh, nice. He started to be supportive after.
Yeah, he started to be very supportive.
Wow.
He was supporting her to go to even university. She was like 33 or 34 or up to 35 that time when we were working together, and she applied to a university. After like she changed the profession, she went to study master's degree of psychology. So she completely changed her profession, and he became very supportive to her. And now she studies Gestalt therapy, where I was studying also. So she really grew professionally in a new area because her husband became also very supportive. But before, their relationship was very toxic, and we were working a lot about that. And now he's the biggest supporter for her, just because she changed her approach. She let go of her resentment about her dad, about her husband, and she did inner work, and it reflected then on her life. So people who hear us, and they might say, oh, Tina is lucky, she has good boyfriend or now husband who is supportive, but my husband is not supportive. But it does not mean that he won't become supportive. If we do the inner work, everyone can change in our life. And if not, it means that our relationship should not meant to be, and that person may go, or we might break up, and we might find a person who aligns with us more, and that person also can find another person who aligns to them most. So everything goes and happens in a best way with our new thoughts and the truth that we unlock.
Amazing.
Yeah,
that's why we need to get new thoughts.
yeah,
We need to take away the root causes of our pain, damage.
yeah.
And what would you say are the key, most important things when you're changing your life? I mean, you talked about many of them, but if you could highlight like the most common 3, for example.
3, to take 100% responsibility about life.
I love that one.
Not to be in a victim position. I have been there. I know how it is, and
I could say me too.
Yeah, it's like lots of suffering can come in our life, and it's so painful to be there when you are victim. And I can say again, I have been there. I know what it is, and I know what kind of price we pay for this, and this price is very expensive. But everything shifts once we take responsibility about our life. It's a brave and bold action, but this is what can really change our life in a real way, in a quality way, and with this we can make a shift. So this is with something that we can start. Then is to listen to ourselves, what we really want.
And
what
would
we
you
really want.
recommend like meditation, things like
could
this?
be.
Yeah.
I personally use holosync meditation. It's very nice meditation with a technology that really helps us with some nature sounds and vibes to really connect with ourselves. But like
What did you say it was? Holistic?
Holosync meditation.
Holosync.
Holosync, yeah. The name is Holosync. So if you write in a Google Holosync meditation, you can find it.
How do you spell that?
Holosync, Holosync.
Oh,
Yeah.
sync. Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
Holosync, yeah.
Interesting. I've never heard that, so I'm gonna go check that out.
It's wonderful meditation. I can say that I meditate every day or
Amazing.
very often, but
I'm
when
trying to get to that. I'm trying to get there.
Like I try to meditate, but not always I can do it. It's like it's a 30-minute meditation, like 2 parts. Another one is also 30 minutes. So finding 1 hour is sometimes not very easy, but every time I do, I feel that my mind is so clear and like I feel very grounded and centered. It's amazing meditation. Lots of great ideas came to me during this meditation.
True, yeah.
So meditation is one option. Also, like walking in nature. Nature can really help us to connect with ourselves. Also, I would say communicating with people who are open, genuine, who really appreciate honest relationships, deep conversations like this, it can be healing. It can be really healing. And we can, like during conversations like that, we can start to hear ourselves better and deeper. So I would say some relationships that are deep, it can be also healing and it can help. Reading inspirational books, self-help books, especially about people who went through some difficulties and make great realizations.
It can inspire us a little bit,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
I would even say that world, I think, needs not just many more successful people, but more authentic people who will share about their journey, because every authentic story about challenges and how those challenges were overcame, it can be really inspirational, and it can be a way that others also can believe that, okay, that person did and I can also do it. So I would say those examples can help us also to listen to ourselves. I don't say though these examples that like if somebody did like had a success in like business of some business, right? To think that, okay, I will do the same. No, just a transformational story about someone who did it, and we can like find our own way, but believe that it's possible for us because that person did it, went through these challenges and tough times, and they did it. Every time I hear a story of people who overcame challenges and really went through a hardship and hard times and now they are happy, for me those people are teachers. Okay, I can do it too, and it helps me to believe myself more, and those people can be like a light in our life.
Oh, for sure, yeah. And we need that, right? We need people that we can look up to, idols, icons, big brothers, coaches, big sisters. We need all that, right? Like
more genuine, authentic, shared stories.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's what we're gonna try to give you guys, some good stories, some good
with
people.
The podcast.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to do my part. She's definitely doing her part in the world. So hopefully you can take some inspiration from this conversation, and hopefully you learn some good knowledge from this conversation. You can apply it to your own life or help somebody else who needs it. And it's a pleasure. We're going to continue next time with some more questions and some more good conversation. Thank you so much,
Thank
Tina.
You so much. Thank you so much,
It's a pleasure.
Gabriel. Thank you so much for inviting me, for asking me so interesting and deep questions. I really enjoyed so much talking with you because it really matters with whom you are talking, right? So
That's
you are
true.
the
Yeah.
person who can really understand what I mean. And I know from where you are coming from, this depth, amazing depth that you have. And it really
Appreciate that.
helped me to open up and share what was in my heart today with your audience. And thank you so much.
Thank you. I really appreciate your words. Very kind. And yeah, we'll do this again soon for sure.
I would love.
Take care. Take care, people. See you next time. Thank you for watching Tea with G with this amazing person, Tina. Peace.